my YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the channel. You know, those who are going to join us live now, in the middle, and those who are going to catch it when it uploads to YouTube. Y'all know my disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of community guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any type of privacy guidelines at all. You know what I mean? What's up to Brother Mello? Shout out to you. It's another Let's Talk About It video. You know, good conversation for the most part. I raised the question out there. You know, do these hip hop artists, a lot of these rappers out here, do they curse themselves to death through their lyrics? You know what I mean? A lot of those fellas' lyrics and even some women lyrics be very, very wicked for the most part. You know what I mean? What's up to Christopher Span? Shout out to you. You said, yep. What's up to Loretta Booker? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Christopher Span says, the devil gives them visions on how they are going to die, and then they put it in their videos. Wow. Wow. You know, a lot of them also talk about the death of others or unaliving others. You understand that? You see a lot of things out there. It seems like every time you turn around, a rapper's getting shot and killed and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And some of them same rappers. Not that we encourage anybody to listen to their lyrics, because a lot of us used to listen to a lot of those individuals out there. We understand. A lot of us probably still remember certain lyrics for the most part. All right, what's up to Loretta Booker? You said, yep, yes. You said they open up portals for the devil. You also mentioned that you said you could not hear. You said, I can't hear nothing. What you talking about at Loretta Booker? All right, what's up with Sister Monica? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. You said greetings to you and to all of the chat. You also stated that, yes, if they don't repent of their sins, they will damn themselves. It's deep. You know what I mean? And these days, you see a lot of those rappers, for the most part, and, you know, they just will go to the extent of the most wickedest lyrics, as far as like unaliving and whatnot. You know, we hear a lot about drill rap music. You know, now I think I heard of something like drill Christian rap. Drill gospel rap music in these days. You know what I mean? You got a lot of these churches that want to be like the rappers. You know? What's up to A Wooten? Shout out to you. What's up to Levy? SV, what up? G's Fold says, well, God did say, in a way, you can speak life or death. You says over yourself when our tongue is powerful. You know what? You're right. You know, folks got to be careful what they say, even in you know, music. You know what I mean? Even certain things we may say, definitely got to be careful. You know what I mean? I know you, G Swole. You know, you stated that you listen to some hip hop music and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are still struggling to listen to hip hop music. You know what I mean? But we could say that the music in these days is not how it is, not how it was way back when. It's totally different. Totally. Now, almost every song in general, not that I'm encouraging anybody to listen, they seem to be talking about unaliving somebody. You know what I mean? Or there was a video out, I think they had it somewhere on Facebook, and I think it was Philadelphia. I think it was a rapper from Philadelphia. He went to one of his enemies' grave sites and tried to dig him up. They're going to the extent of going to an enemy grave site to dig him up and then put it in a music video. This is the type of stuff that is going on in these days. And then I believe a little later on, he got unalived. You know what I mean? Another case out of Philadelphia. A basketball player. You know what I mean? A basketball player. That's what I'm talking about right now at SV. You know what I mean? As soon as I was just talking about it, you brought the story up. I'm talking about him. We're talking about him. Noah Scurry. You know, want to be in with the in crowd. Had all the talent in the world to play basketball. I don't know what these kids get out of trying to be in with the in crowd. You know what I mean? The young man was an A student, was a good ball player, and he blew it all just because he wanted to be in the in crowd. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read your. What's up to Tiffany Neely, Phyllis Tucker, Anita Jackson, Robin Harris. Shout out to you. So SV says, a high school rapper, which was I was talking about, Noah Scurry. That's Noah Scurry, from Philly, called Joker OTV. He says got unalive in front of his mom. Yep, as she was getting ready to drop him off of school. He had multiple bodies before being unalive. He unalive Gilly's son. Wow. If playing basketball wasn't enough, if making straight A's wasn't good enough, I mean, the negative influence that he was around, not blaming that, but that was just stupid. And you could hear people in the news trying to talk highly of him. Well, I guess those folks didn't know that he was doing that in the rap music. You know what I mean? Tiffany says, to hell they go. G Money, what up? He says, most of the new rappers are trying to make a name for themselves and at the same time collect a bag, only to be sold false promises and then end up throwing their life away for pennies. SV says, YBC Doll, the one that was digging graves up. That's just stupid and foolish. You know what I mean? What's up to Corinda Faithful? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. So G Money, you know, it's like that with a lot of them. A whole lot of them. You know what I mean? It's the money, the fame, the women. Like you said, false promises. You know what I mean? You got these music companies duking them. Look at Sexy Red. They ain't doing nothing but pimping her. You know what I mean? Pimping her. Just like they do with the rest. But hey, like you said, a lot of them just want to collect the money at the end of the day. It's all about the money. They don't care what they're saying, how they degrade themselves, who they got to unalive. What's up with Drago? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Tiffany Neely says it's nasty. Oh yeah, Sexy Red. Very nasty. What's up with Drago? Tiffany Neely says all money, not good money. I agree with you. I agree. All money is not good money. You know what I mean? But you can't tell those folks nothing. You know, if a company comes to them, listen, we want to give you a contract. You know what I mean? We're going to sign you to the Face Records or Universal. They're going to take that. Especially coming out of poverty in the hood. $5 million advancement. What's up to David B? Shout out to you. Pitbulls and Python. Shout out to you. G Swole said, do you think Snoop Dogg had something to do with unaliving Tupac? I don't think so. I don't think so. Excuse me. You know, I don't think that. What makes you ask that question? You know, I mean, he had an incident at the at the MGM Grand. You know, I mean, the person locked up. You know, he told us stories about when they unalived Tupac. I don't think Snoop Dogg had anything to do with it, for the most part. You know, and of course, there's a lot of speculations of different things. First, in the beginning, they were saying Suge Knight had something to do with it. Then they said Snoop Dogg and all this other stuff. And then, fellow who got locked up, he wrote a book about it. He had interviews about it. He told on themselves, hey, you know what I mean? People want fame so bad. They go telling themselves what they did. You know what I mean? G Swole says because Suge Knight and Ray J is throwing out hints of Snoop Dogg being a part of Tupac's passing. Me personally, I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't understand how, when he had an incident with Orlando Anderson or something like that. That's his name, right? Injustice says New Jersey. What up, New Jersey? SV says Tupac was moving too reckless. It's like he wanted to get unalived. Well, he's another example, was another example of trying to fit in. Want to be in the in crowd. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of individuals who is very smart, who got good skills, good talents, but their biggest mistake is wanting to be down. They want to be around the Crips. They want to be around the Bloods. You understand? They want to be around Suge Knight. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. I don't get it. What's up to M. Maxwell? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Loretta Booker? Hope all is well. And I think it's kind of the same with so-called churches. You know what I mean? Look what they're doing. What are some current holy gospel music in these days? We talk about in these days. Who is making good holy music, sanctified music in these days? A high percentage of current gospel music in these days sounds like what? Hip hop. Sounds like hip hop, R&B. Nothing sanctified about a lot of current gospel in these days. Nothing. At all. Why? Because they want to fit in. They want to be down. All right. Tiffany says followers of the wrong things. You're right. You're right. They want to smoke weed like the rappers. They want to party like the rappers. They want to dance to rap music in the streets. I know some people struggle with listening to rap music still. You know what I mean? But they trying to, a lot of, those gospel artists, they trying to usher in the rhythm of drill rap, Jay-Z. You understand? Who else is out there that's rapping? Kodak Black. They even had Little Baby at a church. Little Baby at a church. Rapping. What's up to Mr. Dunbar? Shout out to you. G Swole says, true, when Marlon Wayne spoke about Tupac joking having a good time with Marlon, but he looked depressed around Suge, like he couldn't be his real self to pull that tough act around Suge. Interesting. Tiffany says, but I'm not in the street fighting, smoking, drinking, doing any of these things. They go too far. with this stuff. It's one thing to listen to music. It's another thing to portray in your life. Well, in these days, you know, they hear these rappers, they hear these drill rappers. You know what I mean? A lot of the young people, even the older people, they want to live their lifestyle. They want to be on the corner. They want to be on the corners all night. They want to be selling dope all night. They want to drug themselves up all day. You know what I'm saying? Perks. Lean. Perks and lean all day. And alcohol all day. This is what they want to do. Smoke weed all day. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of us, it sounds good to the flesh what they rapping about, in the beat, in the rhythm. All right? Chris Sanchez. What up? What's up to Devon Clark? G Money says the industry awards all degenerate behaviors, and for those rappers who want to deliver a positive message, don't even get a contract. As long as you're talking negativity, you said you can get signed. Wow. G Swole says, I think Tupac the rapper was based on his character Bishop in the movie Juice. Well, I mean, I don't know. That I don't know. But they did say he was in that character for a little while, you know, outside of shooting the movie. But I just think he got influenced in a negative manner when he allowed Suge to take him out of prison and for him to sign with Death Row. All right, Sion says Nicki Minaj. She's another one, you know, exploiting her body, dating a child molester. You understand? I don't get it. I don't get these folks out here. All right? Tiffany Neely says uppers and downers all day. Your body doesn't know what to do. He says, how high do you need to be? Some people want fentanyl. They want that stuff that's going to unalive them. That's what they want. Why? I don't know. A lot of people out there find that type of stuff amazing. Wow, that stuff can kill you. That stuff can unalive you. Man, I want to put that in my veins. I want to shoot up with it. I want to smoke it. You know, a lot of us came up. We hear folks smoking a bombing fluid or angel dust. Some people smoke bleach. They're trying to find that next high that can beam them up even further. You know? All right. Sion says she's smart lyricist. Well, I don't listen to her. So if that's what you say, then hey. You know what I mean? Pitbull says, I wonder about DMX because every album has a prayer, but other songs are questionable. I wonder if he got right with God before he left. I don't think so. He OD'd. You know what I mean? Michael K. Williams, OD'd. DMX, OD'd. You know, you're putting drugs in your body. You know what I mean? I don't think a person can get right, man, if they, you know, high and then they catch some type of heart attack or whatever to die off from overdosing. You know what I mean? But if he had an opportunity to get right, I would hope that too. If Loretta says they open up portals and don't even know it. He said they can't trust nobody in the industry. That is sad. Yep. What's up to TB? Shout out to you, Prodigal Son. SV says Biggie was moving reckless in LA also. Tiffany says so was Leonardo DiCaprio when he did the Django. Dunbar says DMX was definitely battling with his inner demons and trying to break free. Yeah, you know, he had interviews about it. And the man he was very talented. You know what I mean? Very talented, which is as though he could have utilized it for the better. You know what I mean? Sad thing. We spoke, Minaj's brother is a pedophile, you wrote. Michael says, hello from Galloway Bay, Ireland. Sion said, did you used to like Nicki Minaj when she was in her mixtape days? They have to do that to sell. She's good at it though. Well, what I can remember with Nicki Minaj, back when I was younger, she used to be on those DVDs. You know, those from the tri-state area or other areas, you know, about the Come Up DVD, Smack DVD, Cocaine City, and stuff like that. You know, her on the mixtapes, whether it was Clue, you know, SNS, Envy, Funkmaster Flex, Mr. C, you know what I mean? Those from the tri-state area who used to go out and get those mixtapes. You know what I mean? DJ Enough. You know what I mean? Who else is out there? Red Alert. You know? But no, I didn't listen to her. You know what I mean? The reason why I think she got out there because she had to exploit her body a little bit more. Now, when she was on the Come Up DVD, she was a little bit more raw. But of course, they're gonna listen. I'm pretty sure they tell a lot of them, listen, if you want to sell, SEX sells. You got to show a little, you know. You know what I mean? Aaron says some rappers want to live what they rap about, so the streets will test your street cred. You know what? You're right. You're right about that. I like that comment right there. Now, that was a clever comment, Aaron Michaels. You rarely say clever comments, but that's a clever one. You know? G Sports says, do you think it's a sacrifice to get shot at to be able to get in the music industry? Well, no. No. But like Aaron Michaels says, some rappers want to live what they rap about, so the streets will test your street cred. You know, you rap about guns and unaliving people, and you used to do this and you used to do that. It's like prison almost, right? You can't go into jail and prison and act in a certain way. You know, some people a lot of people on the outside in the streets gonna take them same principles. Okay, this man talking like he's tough. We gonna test him. You know what I mean? We gonna test him. But there was some positive rappers in the past. You know, I'd say. David B says Nicki thinks that she's a Christian. Really? Wow. What's up to Mahani? Shout out to you. Prodigal Son says Foxy and Little Kim back in the 90s. Foxy Brown. What's up to Suzanne Miller? Chris Sanchez says it's crazy how these wicked rappers want to thank God for their album going platinum. Prodigal Son said today's rap music is trash. SV says DMX had a song called Damien and had an album cover where he was covered in blood. Oh, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, Damien. I guess that's the song where he was, I guess, make it seem like he was talking to the devil or something like that. You know what I mean? I think that's the one you're talking about. All right. Aaron Michael says people die over a bad food diet, so drug overdose can be forgiven. Well, I'm not here to talk about. See, comments like that will lead to a debate. This is what I'm talking about. We're here to have a regular conversation. You know what I mean? You see, when people so programmed to put, they want to put Bible on everything. You're supposed to put Bible on everything, but you got to learn how to have just a basic conversation. You know what I mean? You see that? You see what I mean? My title was Dead Rappers Do Rappers Curse Themselves to Death Through Their Lyrics. Simple. This is what we're talking about. You know what I mean? So whether you think a drug overdose can be forgiven is really irrelevant to this topic I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Prodigal Son says Biggie dug his own grave out here in Cali. Oh man, that's some shit right there. You said these other musicians. What about P&B Rock? You know what I mean? What about P&B? You know? Well, then again, I forgot who I was listening to. It was an interview or something like that. Whereas though there's a group of people out there, when they know rappers are in the area, or just, people with money, they go set them up. I forgot who it was. Was that on, it might have been on No Jumper. You might have heard it, Prodigal Son with No Jumper. A fella got arrested recently, Big U. And there was another fellow who got arrested with him. And I think Wack 100 was asking him questions. And he explained that that's what they do to people who come out there. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. I'm glad I'm not in that world. Glad. What's up to Alvin? Pitbull says, people unalive a person over a chain, over some jewelry. Man, is it that bad? That you got these grown men, I'm gonna take your chain. I'm gonna take your chain up because I got your chain, because I robbed you. So what? You know what I mean? So what? That's my mindset. So what? Pitbull says, I watched that on news, funeral and stuff. Was it OD or poison? So many stories out there. I pray he got right, he wrote. Wonderful at Pitbulls. Jeremy Dunbar says, not the Smack DVDs. Those were crazy. Oh, yeah. Smack. What they know about Smack DVDs. You know? Man. Reggie says, for sure, they curse themselves. Anyone who signs a contract does it with the devil, you wrote. Prodigal Son says, they all got that demonic Jezebel spirit. G4 says, why was Nipsey Hussle so praised as a hero when he got unalive, but he was a Crip? And everybody knows death comes with that territory. That's a good question. Somebody, I forgot who else I was listening to. Who was I listening to when they was talking about why certain people are celebrated like a Nipsey Hussle? I think it was Charleston White. Now, I agree with him on that. I think Charleston White was talking about why, people like Nipsey Hussle were celebrated. Big Meech. Why are these drug dealers and these folks and gangs and stuff like that, why are they celebrated? For what? For what? Yeah, Nipsey Hussle did some good things in the community. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. He gave people jobs, helped out some kids and stuff like that. But he was in some stuff. Like you said, he was a Crip. He was a Crip. The sad part about it, his own people did it. Own people did it. Own people. Own holder, whether it was Big U who set him up, his own people did it. Own Crips. It'd be your own. You know what I mean? It'd be your own. All right. Span says DJ Clue, professional part. Professional part 2. Dunbar says, I remember the battle with Loaded Lux in the sneaker store. Are you talking about with Young Miles? Young Miles or Murder Mook? That's what you're talking about, man. You know? All right. Let me see. Cali Boy, what up? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. At Cali Boy, appreciate that. He says, greetings. I saw the cutting skills earlier. Tight work. Appreciate that, man. You know, appreciate that. For sure. Wish I had a better camera. I would have hope, correct myself. I would have hope I had a better camera and whatnot. You know, we got a lot more ideas of certain videos we're going to do. For the most part, you know, just thinking of certain things, whether it's hair cutting or cooking and stuff like that, you know. Appreciate that. What's up, The Valid? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Span says, rappers go through rituals and perform magic. Then when they die, someone foolishness, man or woman that knows them will say, I can't believe he died. What's up to Genesis? He says, Sauce Walker got shot over the weekend, survived, but his artist didn't. But then he bragged while on the phone with his father that their house got shot up 40 times when he was younger. Nothing to glorify. It's not. A lot of them feel as though when they got shot at, or if they get shot at, like they have a sense of pride. Like, yeah, I went through that. Yeah, I'm tough, man. You understand? Yeah, I did it. They feel big. They feel tough. You know what I mean? D. Merriweather says, greetings, everyone, just peeking in while dashing. What about Clarissa Shields and Papoose being engaged? Now she's ready for a baby too, than what she said on one of the videos. Papoose, you know, listening back in the day at Papoose on the Smacks when he, you know, had Alphabet Slaughter with K. Slay. He's more so of a lyricist, but we talked about that a little bit before. I think somebody asked a question about it, but of course, it may turn into something biblical because he is still married to Remy Ma, and he still sleeps at her house according to what triggered before. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a good idea, and in my opinion, at all. You know, they could be both operating off of their feelings because she was in a relationship not too long ago. You know what I mean? And, you know, Papoose probably got hurt because his wife cheated on him to the public. Made him look stupid to the public. Cheating with a battle rapper out of Philadelphia. Ain't that something? A lot of things seem to be tied to Philly. I noticed. You understand? But, I mean, hey, it's messy stuff where as though that's what people love. They love that messy stuff. They love seeing Papoose walk out with Clarissa Shields to the fight. What Remy Ma's thinking? I know she mad. This is what they love. You know what I mean? Ah, man, I'm glad. They'll say, I'm glad to see Papoose happy with Clarissa Shields. You know, Remy Ma did him dirty. They like that stuff. You know what I mean? But on a biblical standpoint, of course, it's different. But we ain't gonna go there. You understand? We'll keep it on a conversation type of thing. You know? But hey, it's rough, man. It's rough out there. Tiffany says, whoever took that nasty comment out, thank you so much. Oh, I ain't gonna say that, prodigal son. I ain't gonna put that out there, man. Mr. Dunbar says, Snoop talked about selling his soul in the song. Murder was the case. I think DMX also. I think Kanye West mentioned that too. A lot of rappers did. Whether they was just making it in a lyrical way or not, that's still something to say. That's very dangerous to even play around with. You know what I mean? Very dangerous. You know? What's up to Kurt Ellis? Christmas fan says, for instance, Tupac bombed first trading war stories, ambitions as a rider, hit him up, life of an outlaw, dying young. Hit him up! Ah, man. Woo! Hit him up. Wow. I think I was about, Hit him up came out. I think I was about 12. I might have been about 12 when that came out. It was released in 96. Yeah, I was 12, right? Yeah, I was 12. I was about 12 when Hit 'Em Up came out, man. Whew. Ah, man. Whew. Wow. Alvin says, do you think the labels have control over their death? What you mean by that? I've heard that the labels have some artists, I think they got like some type of life insurance policies on these artists. If that's what you mean, or they masters and stuff like that. If that's what you mean. All right. Tiffany says, right, God didn't do none of that. Sion says, Nicki Minaj is just not all BBL and shaking. She can actually rap. Well, people don't want to really hear her lyrics. They want to look at her body, her fake body. They want to look at that. Just like Cardi B, or Megan Thee Stallion, or Sexy Red. You know what I mean? Where's the Lauryn Hills at in these days? Where's the Lauryn Hills at in these days? There's no more Lauryn Hills out here. You know what I mean? No more. Now they gotta rap like Sexy Red. They gotta talk about stuff like that. You know what I mean? And parents allow their children to listen to that stuff. They let their little daughters listen to Sexy Red. And they think it's cute having them dance on these TikTok shorts and Facebook. These mothers out here allowing their daughters. Now I'm blaming the mothers out here because I don't see no fathers putting up their daughters dancing to Sexy Red. They putting up their daughters dancing to that on Facebook. When you got these grown perverted men looking at that stuff. Your 8-year-old daughter dancing to Sexy Red. You know what I mean? All right. Valid says, it's crazy when the rapper die, that's when they get more popular. Wow. Treasure says, why be free? I don't know what that means. Pitbull says, is that Aaron Michael, same one from the other night in the U-Haul truck? I don't remember that comment, but it sounds like him. All right, but yeah, that's the same Aaron. Michael Sion says, I don't listen like but she's good. Okay. All right. G School says, if you became a professional boxer, will you have a rapper rapping one of his songs for your interest in the ring? Well, when I was young, my mindset wasn't like this. My mindset was filthy. I was using profanity all the time. I was a DJ also in boxing. You know what I mean? So the answer to that would be yes. You know what I mean? So my mind would be different. You know, I thank God for my mind changing for the better. Because I wouldn't be talking about this stuff right now. You know, I'll probably be mixing and scratching on my Technique 1200s or something like that. You know what I mean? On YouTube. You know? Or being a personality on Hot 97 right now. Or 105. Because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on the radio. You know? So, of course, yes, that's traditional when you become a professional boxer and you in that hip-hop world. You know? But for the most part, I'm thankful that it didn't turn out that way. I'm thankful that I didn't sign no contracts like right away. Somebody said earlier, all money ain't good money. You know, we had contracts on the table, but it's always something that used to get in the way. You know what I mean? From me signing the contract. It's always something. It was always something to get in the way of me signing the contract. Always. Whether it was an injury, whether it was COVID, it was always something to get in the way. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful that it turned out that way, for sure. You know? All right, TB says that Zeal needs to chill. We on about rap. Prodigal Son says, who's PNB? PNB Rock from Philadelphia. Span says, oh, he says, okay thing. Tupac said, I can't forget, is when he said lyrics will leave you spellbound and hellbound. Now that my understanding is, understand. What's up to Linda? Span says, Guru. What's up to DL Gully? What's up to Mr. Ham? G Money says, it's pitiful that really no one makes it rich in the industry. That is why you see rappers who started in their 20s still performing in their 50s and touring like crazy, so they can just survive. True. You know, you see a lot of these, like you said, like maybe Tretch, Naughty by Nature. You know, you got Too Short. You got Scarface. You know. Sion says, I think her brother was framed and her husband was framed of those acts. Well, I don't know. I'm not trying to get into that. For the most part, with her brother and her husband, Nicki Minaj. You know, but when you have been arrested for touching on kids, there's a high chance that they have evidence. High chance. Evidence is there. You know? Prodigal Son says, Cali been doing that since Tupac was out here at the Lakewood Mall. Wow. Sion says, whenever a woman accuses someone, it's believable all of a sudden, especially if she cries, Yeah. Aaron Michael says, you can be a successful rapper without rapping negative lyrics. Look at Will Smith. Will Smith. Well, Will Smith got successful because he's a good actor. He's a good actor. You know what I mean? All right. Prodigal Son said, Jack and Chains. Tiffany says, appreciate that. Appreciate that at Sion. All right. SV says to Aaron Michaels, Will Smith played a homosexual, a Skittles character in a movie, though. Wow. Prodigal Son says Nip gave back to the community. His own homie unalived him, who was from the '60s, a Crip set. What's up, Mr. Hebrew? Shout out to you. G. Swole says, I know God has the key to life and death, but do you think the devil has power to keep a person alive? If they Irv claims the devil saved 50 due to his music he puts out. Well, that's Irv Gotti. Look where Irv Gotti is at now. You understand that? That's Irv Gotti quote. That's not the scriptures. Now, I'm not trying to go to the scriptures or anything like that. But when Irv Gotti said that on Irv Gotti is just, that was a stupid comment by Irv Gotti. You know, of course the Lord, you know, gives life, gives death. You know, someone must have been praying for 50 that day. I will say that. You know, and then years later, about 50, they try to unalive him, right? And then they was, you know, basically hating on him, right? You know, listen, what goes around can come around on you. You know what I mean? So Irv Gotti did not want to listen to his doctor or go to the doctor, and he wanted to eat Chinese food all day and play poker. Doctor told him, listen, you got diabetes or whatever the case may be. He didn't want to believe it. So he kept doing it. A dummy. He didn't listen. You know what I mean? He did not listen at all. He didn't save himself. You know what I mean? He didn't save himself. He didn't care. But, hey, to each his own. All right? Prodigal Son says E40 never his soul. Richie Rich. What's up to John Doe? Sarah D says, I swear these female rappers are the worst. Most of the music is trash, and all of our young women are starting to imitate them. Even some of the old heads. You're right. You're right about that. You know, that seemed to be the new wave for them. For surety. All right. Drago says, hit him up, destroy Bad Boy Records. Am I right? Oh man, you're funny. Prodigal Son says Annie Stone got unalived. She one of her masters. Tiffany says the young rapper too is mostly dumb. Prodigal says they all got filthy mouths. He says Sexy Red is cooking burgers at Nip's new burger joint. He wrote. G. Swole says, I'm surprised Biggie didn't unalive Tupac for that song, Hit 'Em Up. When song even got me feeling some type of way on the road, so Tupac needed a hug, releasing all that evil energy. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty deep, man. Christopher Span says, DMX said, I don't get too much sleep. He said his soul is tormented. He wished it was alive, but everything he said, he meant it. He knows he's doing wrong, and every day he begs the Lord to forgive him. Pitbull says, if I understand right, we'll be held accountable for everything we say and do. Even if music and TV for entertainment, he said we'll still be held accountable. Yep. Prodigal Son says, Redman was strictly hip-hop out of Jersey. Redman. Tonight's the night, huh? Christopher Span said, DMX has a song called Damien where he's talking to the devil about selling his soul for fortune and fame. Tiffany says, right, I still listen to my old school hip hop from the 90s. I really do. Diggable Planets, yeah. You said Tribe Called Quest, things like that. I can't listen to this new music, it's hard. Tribe Called Quest. SV said Jada Kiss and Styles P rapped about dead rappers getting better promotion years ago. Even worse now, the streams go way up when the artist dies. Wow. It says Biggie Smalls said, you're nobody until somebody unalives you. John Doe said, these labels definitely profit off of these rappers. You're right. You know, them labels know what they're doing. Them labels know what they're doing. You know, but what kid from, you know, poverty is going to turn down a record deal if they offering millions right there? You get $1 million check right there. You coming from poverty, you know what I mean? 10 of y'all living in one small apartment, and a record company wants to sign you, we'll give you $1 million check right here if you sign right here. Right here. We own all your masters. You get this $1 million check, get your family out the hood. And this is what these record labels do. They trip up these young people. You know what they call them, like a 360 deal also? David Washington says, what you know about pitch control? I don't know nothing about that. Oh, pitch control. You talking about off the turntable? Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about? Off the turntable? Pitch control? Let me know, David Washington. T. Wood says, as a DJ, how much money is spent on equipment and records and to be able to keep up with the latest when you was a DJ? When I was a DJ in Jersey, and not, you know, too popular or anything like that, I like to stay in the cut. I like to network with the radio stations. I wanted to get in with that. You know what I mean? So the thing is with the equipment, I remember in my sophomore year in high school, I was working in the summertime. Was it the summertime? No. It was, I think it was the summertime. It was one of those things. Like, I was working on Saturdays. I was making like $50, you know, every week or whatever. So I would save that money up. I got me some Newmark turntables. It was belt drives. So 2 turntables was like, it was like $100 each. So I got my Newmark turntables. I got my mixer. I think it was like a Gemini mixer. And that might have been like $150 for the most part in the beginning. I already had a stereo because I used to work at this garbage factory, and I got a stereo at it. I found the stereo. I said, man, I'm gonna take this home. I had an echo chamber on it. So we had all that. And the records at the time, you know, going to New York, going to Rock and Soul, by Madison Square Garden. So Rock and Soul had records. The records was like, some records was $1, $5, $10. It all depends. It all depends. Sometimes they had the bootleg records, which was Crib Underground. They used to bootleg records. If certain things is not out, they will bootleg them. You know what I mean? How they get the acapella instrumentals, because somebody on the inside gives it to them, and they put it on the record. So if a record label don't put out a 12-inch vinyl with an acapella instrumental, they would do it themselves. You know what I mean? But they would do it in the cut, because if they got caught for it, you know what I mean, they could get in trouble legally. So the records was like $5, you know what I mean? For example, if Mystical record came out, you know, Shake It Fast, which was a good party record, we would know when it comes out, because Stan Records in Jersey City, it was a record store called Stan Records. You know what I mean? We would know when those records come out. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that much. You know what I mean? And if you wanted a throwback record, acapellas is hard to find. You know what I mean? You would have to buy your records from overseas or somewhere around the country or whatever the case may be. But most of those hard to find acapella records was overseas in the UK. All right? So it was money to keep up, but if you're doing parties and stuff like that, you can make the money back. You know what I mean? For the most part, in the beginning. But that was my beginning stages. You know, over time, my stuff elevated my equipment, which costs more money. So each time you elevate, it's going to cost you more. Just like with YouTube. You know, you want better quality equipment, it's going to cost you more money. You know, but those were the days, man. Those were the days. Now they got, you know, they're using their laptops and, you know, digital stuff and things like that. And I had gave all my equipment. I think I threw my equipment in the garbage or gave it away when I got back into church. You understand that? I gave it all away or threw it away. One of those. All right. What's up to Henry Ross? So death is between the tongue. You said death is between the tongue, something like that. You wrote. Tiffany says, CC, no, I didn't even know that. You wrote. What's up to Jay Gonzalez? Span says, me too. He says, facts. Henry Ross rap about death. It sells. It sells. You know what I mean? A lot of people rapping about death, rapping about unaliving people. It sells. You know, as we talked about earlier, you know, a rapper in Philadelphia, he went to one of his opposition's grave sites and tried to dig him up. So they, you know, they like that type of stuff. Prodigal Son says, Guru was all positive, mostly. Tiffany Neely says, I teach my boys follow God, don't follow these men. They will lead you wrong. Prodigal Son said, Trutch turned on Pac, left him behind around the 60s. SP says, PNB Rock most likely didn't check in. Well, I don't know if you seen the crime video about, you know, how PNB Rock was set up. I think it's on like Law and Crime or something like that, YouTube channel. And they showed the time that PNB Rock walked into that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle, and a man shakes his hand, and then the man calls his son, and they set him up. So now I watch the crime, the Law and Crime and stuff like that, because I watch a lot of that Law and Crime. Doesn't matter who it is, but they happen to have PNB Rock on it. Now they saying he was set up by somebody else, because that's what they do in California. They set rappers up. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more information coming out. So, hey, with PNB Rock, for the most part, you know, I think the checking in part, I think is childish for the most part. But he should have known better to walk around with all that jewelry in an area like that. You shouldn't do that. If I got money, if I'm, you know, if I was famous or stuff like that, and I just wanted to have a day where I just want to walk around. I want to go into this Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. I'm going to research the location. How is this location? You know what I mean? What are the ratings? What's the area like? I'm not going to walk into a place looking like food, meaning a come up. I'm not going to give a person any type of thoughts. I'm going to rob them. I'm not rolling in there in a Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. But he walked in there with jewelry on and stuff like that, and, you know, you look like food. So what's going to happen when you go into an area or a place and you look like food? It's a lot of wolves around there. There's a lot of lions around there. You know what I mean? All right. Drago says, bro, Tony, in this folly that people got to check in when they're entering another city. Checking in. That's so childish. What are like? Listen, I'm a grown man. What I got to check in with this person for? He don't own the city. What's wrong with these fellas? Talk about checking in. Man, you better get out of here, man. You know what I mean? This is what they do. Not only to rappers, they do it to YouTubers. They do it to ball players. If they know you are a YouTuber, a popular YouTuber, a popular person, or whatever, oh, you got to check in. What are you talking about? You better get out of here, man. You understand? Simple. So they live by those codes, which is stupid. Checking in. I look like you own the city or something like that. You know? Right? Prodigal Son says, code of the streets. Code of the streets. What's up to Express? You says, how do the spirits of the dead rappers who live in sin feel when they don't have a chance to with their creator in whom they will face to face him? Interesting. T. Wood says, what movie Will Smith played a Skittles role other than in Hitch when he kissed a man? Wow. That's crazy. Prodigal Son says, Irv Gotti was whooped on Ashanti. Ah, man. I was whooped on Ashanti. You hear me? I was whooped on Ashanti when I was younger. Ah, man. Phew. Man, oh, man. You couldn't tell me nothing when I was about 17, 18. You know? I was whipped. And I wasn't even talking to her. You hear me? You know? But Irv Gotti brought that on himself. He was married and he was, knocking off, his artist, Ashanti. You know what I mean? And then when Ashanti, I guess, met Nelly, right? And they connected and, now they're married in these days and, doing their thing. He was upset. What you upset that she got a new man and now they got married and stuff like that? What you upset for? You the one that was creeping behind your wife's back with your artist. Christopher Span says 50 Cent is a bully. Henry Ross says, how about Suge Knight locked up and all? Do y'all think he's at least trying to change? Well, I listened to the interviews on Out of the Dialogue when, Suge is talking about certain stories. I don't know. Span says, there go Ike workout Tony. Ike workout. For sure. The American Brother says, how Ice-T ended up being a way better actor than he was rapping. He had to retire rapping. To each his own, Jesus Ford says, I thought a famous... I heard even gangsters check famous people's flight schedules when I don't know how they do that. Somebody on the inside, probably. Somebody on the inside. That's sad, man. That's sad that they do that. That's real sad. That's real sad, man. All right. Henry Ross says, Death Row and Murder Inc. Do y'all think they are one of a kind of each other? Well, way back when Death Row was something different. You know what I mean? Death Row was something way different. I think Death Row was more out there in the public's eye, whereas though Murder Inc., you know, they was overshadowed as far as like the dirt that they was doing with the type of music they was putting out. You know? All right, T. Wood said Redman was funny and how high him and Method Man. Oh man, you laughing at that, man. How high? You laughing at that. Prodigal Son says Irv was eating Chinese food before he died. He says, be careful, Peter Cox. Oh, man. Genesis says, I remember when OD'd, I knew he was bugging when he started calling himself Baby Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy right there. That's crazy. You don't do nothing like that. Henry Ross says Candace Owens is trying to say Pac was a hidden Skittle. What do y'all think? I don't know. I can't say that. I mean, I can't say that at all. All right. G Swole says I think 50 was wrong for clowning on the passing of Irv, even though he claims Irv was a part of him getting shot, blocking his record deal and threatening to put money on his head. Well, I mean, hey, you know what happens with the connection. All right. Prodigal Son says Prodigy knew too much. He exposed the industry. SB says Will Smith played a Skittles character in the movie 6 Degrees of Separation, his first big movie you wrote. Prodigal Son says, Span says, in the word of Kiss, they'll be rapping, you rapping. Oh, they'll be graping. That's what you're talking about? I'm trying to understand. Help me understand that one. All right? Span says, not going to lie, I like Kumo. Wild Wild West, you wrote. G. Swole says, why do they buy expensive jewelry, clothes, and cars instead of a house first when they get a major record deal? Well, I believe a lot of them are fascinated with, jewelry, nice cars, women, and things like that. You know what I mean? They want to look like they really have it, but don't. But some of them rent out jewelry. You know what I mean? And this is why a lot of them get unalived. This is why a lot of them get unalived. You're putting yourself out there. You know what I mean? You go to Jacob the jeweler, you go to Paul Wall, you buy these iced out chains, $50,000, $100,000, $100,000 chain. For what? Like you said, buy a house. You know what I mean? I know y'all saw the movie Baby Boy with Melvin. Huh? There's two type of brothers in this world. There's brothers with guns and brothers with butter. What's the butter? Cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other bull stuff that don't mean nothing after you buy it. What's the guns? Stocks and bonds, artwork, stuff that appreciate what's valuable. That was a funny movie. I used to watch that movie all the time when I was about 18, 19. Almost every day. Every day when I was 18, 19. Still remember. All right, what's up with Carol Johnson? Y'all funny, though. Carol Johnson. Prodigal Son said New York was the best in the 80s, 90s, the tunnel. What you know about the tunnel, man? What you know about the tunnel? What they know about the tunnel? What's up to Herd Wise? Shout out to you. Levy says people think cursing themselves just means using profanity. You're right. You're right about that. You're right. You know, and that's what I'm mainly talking about. You know what I mean? In reference to the lyrics that they put out. If they putting out unaliving people or what they did to people, you don't think that stuff is going to come right back around on you if you don't repent? If you're talking about you're going to slide on somebody, hood, a mother, and whatnot. There was a rapper out of Newark, New Jersey. I don't know if y'all heard of him. Triple Beans. Triple Beans out of Newark, New Jersey. You know, he made a diss song way back when, talking about he want these people unalive and the kids unalive. Look him up. I got the actual video of him getting unalive. I think it's on my other laptop or something like that. I remember downloading it. The whole video. He was coming out the store in Newark, New Jersey with his sandwich. Car pulled up. And that was all she wrote. Finished him. You got to be careful what you say. You know what I mean? You got to be very, very careful what you say about people, or what you do to people also. You know what I mean? All right. What's up, the Cato family? Shout out to you. Heard why says, do rappers curse themselves through their lyrics? He says, yes, the reason why is mostly all vain. My brother Tony wrote at Heard Wise. I appreciate that at D Merriweather for the support. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining that. I appreciate that. Valor says, labels just sign crash outs these days. What's up to Anthony Nelson? Prodigal Son says, rappers today are clowns. Swole says, Candace Owens herself would shock me when she's big time to think she ignores comments, but I think I messed that up when I called her out when she seemed sarcastic, he wrote to Prodigal Son. Heard why says, but once upon a time, hip-hop was righteous. Hip-hop was righteous, he wrote. I think Gino back in the day, Gino, he mentioned that, I think he was talking about rap music one day in his sermons. He talked about the first rap song being, the Jubilaries or something like that. Or something, which was made a long time ago. You know what I mean? And were some songs righteous? Back in the day, yeah. Yeah, back in the day. Sarah D says, y'all have a good night. You too. You know? What's up to Jules? Shout out to you. Tiffany says, you don't have to go to Roscoe's to get chicken and waffles. You can fry some chicken wings and make you some waffles at home. It's not that serious. People just like to be seen. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Now, I've never been there. But you know what? You're right. You go to AHA. Or you can make it at home, like you said. But to me, when I see Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, although I've never been there before, and although I don't eat that type of food often, I look at it, I said, them waffles are big. That chicken look good. That combination look good, though. How they make it. Now, I don't know how to make those waffles, how they make it, or whatever the case may be. So it may give a person, let me see how Roscoe Chicken and Waffles taste. You know what I mean? But that type of area, like you said, people want to be seen. You don't go to a spot like that with a bunch of jewelry on. For what? What's up, Nomi B said that Roscoe's in the hood, in the parking lot. You said it's small. Wow. What's up to Andrew Jackson? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. What's up to Joshua? Shout out to you. Dima, shout out to you. Hope all is well. read that. Let's see what we have. I'm just going through the comments right now. Definitely appreciate y'all for joining the conversation. SB says, I'm not gonna lie, I would have ate at that Roscoe's, but I wouldn't have had that jewelry or money on me. Absolutely. Herb Wise says it's ridiculous. Most of them don't own anything in their community. I agree with you. Henry Ross says rappers think they own the streets, but they don't. Like the rest of us, they still pay taxes, he wrote. G Swole says true when they even had Shaq check in, I believe, when he came to play the LA playing for the Lakers. I don't know nothing about that. I never heard of that, man. That's crazy. Prodigal Son says Pac, Biggie, DMX, Prodigy, Guru, Eazy-E didn't make it. Wow. Henry Ross says Ashanti's where she's at and doing. She's a married woman right now, from my understanding. Married, and I think she's pregnant too. I'm not sure. All right. Henry Ross says Nelly and Soulja Boy, Rick Ross and Snoop all were at Dump's victory party, slaving it up. He says slaving it up. Harry Wise says rap wasn't always gangster music. It used to be a motivating. You wrote. What's up to Brian? Prayers and blessings unto you, man. I hope you get better for sure. SV says ODB was 5% and thought all black men are gods. He says what a fool he was. G Swole says, do you think Kanye West is the next one to get unalive when he's really talking reckless about Jay-Z and Beyonce's children? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, that I don't know at all. Prodigal Son says Big U was behind Nip's murder. I heard that too. I heard that too for sure. What's up to Dwayne? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Prodigal Son, you said Sue Surf. What about Sue Surf? What about him? Pitbull says you're right. It's all good till they bring the family into it. SV says Biggie dropped 2 albums, Ready to Die and Life After Death. He was unalive at 25. Meanwhile, his grandmother in Jamaica is still living at 102 years old. Wow. That's crazy. G Swole says, do you think Tupac is alive? When I heard his mom got caught with a lot of money going on a flight for some reason when she was alive. Nah. That I don't believe. I know some speculation was out there years ago about him being alive. All right. T Wood says, did Eazy-E really die with the 4-letter word? That I don't know. Suge Knight was talking about that in the interview with of the dialogue. So I don't know. I don't be wanting to put no speculations on anything, but it's crazy. Joshua says, when is the next Captain T interview? I like him. I think a lot of people like Cap. I think a lot of people like Captain Cesario. They do. They may say, oh, he's this, he's that, but they like when he come on here. You know what I mean? They like it. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? We'll see, though. All right, Span says, used to listen to Wu-Tang. That's what started me down the rabbit. He says, whole rappers rapping about ancient mysticalism. What is that? Astrophysics, etc. Much of the lyrics are of the devil. Harry Wise says, they got those diamonds from Africa, and some people don't make it alive. So trust me, diamonds have blood on them. Prodigal Son says KRS-One. KRS-One. Well, as you can see, a lot of, well, if not all of these rappers are nowhere near that at all, man. You know? G Swole says, do you think rappers are cloned and the real ones is unalive when there's conspiracy theories about Gucci Mane being a clone? Well, me personally, I don't believe that stuff with nobody. I don't believe that stuff with nobody. I don't really stay that in tune with what's going on. But I do watch certain interviews and documentaries and stuff like that. But when people start talking about cloning and conspiracy and stuff like that, nah, I don't even be bothered with that type of stuff for the most part. All right, let's see how much time we got left. Henry Ross said, you said Ashanti, what about Brandy Norwood? What about her? I mentioned Ashanti is married to Nelly right now. I don't know about Brandy, you know. If you're talking about when I said I had a thing for Ashanti when I was young, I didn't have a thing about Brandy when I was 17 or 18. It was all about Ashanti. You understand? If you're talking about that, you know? But she's a married woman, so... Span says, ODB vowed that your financial status has changed when you do plan on doing for the hood. He says, response, nothing. You put, Prodigal Son says, I like Britney Spears. What? Man say he used to like Britney Spears, man. Britney Spears. Wow. He said he used to like Britney Spears. Man. Hey, man. If you used to like Britney Spears, more power to you. Milk and pancakes. You hear me? If you like milk and pancakes back then, more power to you. You understand? All right? Harry Wise says Public Enemy was one of the best standing up against the machine that watered down our music. You put, all right, I think we got a couple more minutes before we knock off. It's been a long day, 12-hour day at work, man, and I'm trying to rest, get some rest for the most part. I think we go a couple more minutes before we wrap it up. Prodigal Son says, Hassan all up in the Kool-Aid. Listen, Mr. Campbell, he know what he's doing on YouTube. He know what the viewers want and stuff like that. Although, you know about him. The man, he has mastered what he does with YouTube. You know what I mean? He know what he's doing. Pretty funny guy, though. Pretty funny. I think he was the first one to put out the video with Nipsey Hussle being unalive. I think he was. I think. That's where I saw the video at years ago from his channel. You know? All right? Henry Ross says, I was talking about having a thing for Ashanti. What about Brandy Norwood? Where she falls? Well, we're talking about when I was young. You know what I mean? So when I was young, I mean, Brandy was alright, but she wasn't in the picture. You know what I mean? She was alright. You know, she was alright. But Ashanti was on my room wall when I was 17. You hear me? You know? But that's good that she's, I guess she's happy, married, or whatever the case may be, with Nelly, whatever. You know. What's up to Renee? Did y'all see the pastor's wife dancing to Not Like Us? What pastor's wife? What pastor's wife you referring to? Let me know. You know what I mean? All right, if you got any last closing remarks to this video, feel free to leave it in the chat room so we can wrap this thing up. You know, definitely appreciate y'all for coming on here, having this conversation. The General Hurt Wise says Chris Cross went out bad. Also, Jermaine Dupri should be charged with those crimes just like Puffy. Yo, y'all funny. If you got any last closing remarks to this video, feel free to leave in the chat room. And Lord willing, we'll be on tomorrow with some more conversations. For the most part, I hope everybody have a wonderful sleep, a wonderful rest, a wonderful night, a wonderful evening in general. Renee says, some false prophet first lady and her crew. Wow, I didn't see that. My first time hearing about it. Prodigal Son says, stay prayed up. For sure. Appreciate that at Drago. God bless you too. God bless everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin, signing off. May you all have a wonderful, blessed night. Once again, I'm out. Peace.